Hi everyone, and welcome back to Simple Understanding channel. I'm excited to have you here for our CSCP Certified Supply Chain Professional Preparation course. This is another module of the 8-module series, and I hope you're enjoying the journey so far. To make your studies easier, I put together some great resources that you can download from the description below. First, you'll find comprehensive study PDFs, over 200 pages packed with everything you need to succeed, from supply chain fundamentals to advanced strategies. Second, there's a bunch of multiple-choice questions, complete with detailed answers to help you get familiar with the exam format and level of difficulty. Finally, check out the glossary of 400-plus key terms, all grouped by module, so you can easily follow along and track your progress. If you find this video helpful, please like, comment, share, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Be sure to check out the CSCP playlist for the previous modules and stay tuned for the upcoming ones. Let's get started. Module 7, Supply Chain Risk, which consists of two different sections as the following. Section A, Risk Management and Supply Chain Risks. Section B, Risk Analysis and Response. Let's begin with Section A, Risk Management and Supply Chain Risks. Overview. Risk management and supply chain risks introduces the concept of risk management within supply chains, emphasizing the need for businesses to identify, assess, and manage risks to ensure continuity and stability. This section explores the broad range of risks that can impact supply chains, including operational risks such as equipment failures or human errors, financial risks like currency fluctuations or credit issues, and external risks, such as natural disasters, geopolitical tensions, or supplier instability. Effective risk management involves not only recognizing these risks, but also implementing proactive strategies to mitigate them, such as developing risk mitigation frameworks, enhancing supply chain visibility, and improving decision-making processes. By integrating risk management into supply chain operations, companies can build more resilient and adaptable supply networks, reducing the likelihood of disruptions and ensuring long-term success. Key topics. 1. Understanding supply chain risk. Explanation. Supply chain risk refers to any potential disruption or failure in the flow of goods, services, or information within a supply chain. These risks can arise from various sources, including natural disasters, political instability, supplier failures, and cybersecurity breaches. Real company example. Apple faces significant risks due to its reliance on a global network of suppliers. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Apple experienced delays in production due to factory closures in China. Expansion. Companies need to identify and assess supply chain risks in order to mitigate potential disruptions. A comprehensive risk management strategy that includes identifying vulnerabilities in the supply chain, evaluating their potential impact, and developing contingency plans can minimize the effect of unforeseen events on business operations. 2. Types of supply chain risks. Explanation. Supply chain risks can be classified into several categories: operational risks, financial risks, reputational risks, and environmental risks. Each type requires a different approach to mitigation. Real company example. Boeing experienced operational risks when one of its major suppliers was unable to meet production deadlines for the 787 Dreamliner, leading to delays and cost overruns. Expansion. Categorizing risks helps businesses to tailor their risk management strategies. Operational risks can often be addressed with process improvements, while financial risks might require hedging strategies or diversification of suppliers. Proactively managing each type of risk strengthens the overall resilience of the supply chain. 3. Risk identification and assessment. Explanation. Risk identification involves systematically mapping out potential risks across the entire supply chain, from raw material sourcing to final delivery. Assessment involves evaluating the likelihood and potential impact of these risks. Real company example. Nestle uses a comprehensive risk assessment framework to map out potential supply chain disruptions. This includes evaluating geopolitical risks, climate change impacts, and supplier reliability. Expansion. Identifying and assessing risks early in the supply chain allows companies to prioritize mitigation efforts. Effective risk assessment frameworks use data analytics and modeling to predict potential scenarios and assess their financial and operational impact. 4. Risk mitigation strategies. Explanation. Mitigation strategies aim to reduce the likelihood of risk occurrence or minimize its impact if it occurs. These strategies can include diversifying suppliers, investing in technology, and maintaining safety stock. Real company example. Toyota adopted a risk mitigation strategy by diversifying its suppliers after the 2011 earthquake and tsunami in Japan disrupted its supply chain. Expansion. A robust risk mitigation strategy ensures that businesses are not overly dependent on a single supplier, region, or technology. By diversifying suppliers, building buffer stock, or investing in supply chain technologies, companies can minimize the impact of potential disruptions and ensure business continuity. 5. Supplier risk management. Explanation. Supplier risk management involves assessing the risks associated with suppliers, such as financial instability, poor quality control, or geographical risks. Maintaining close relationships with suppliers can help companies better manage these risks. Real company example. Tesla has a rigorous supplier risk management program, conducting financial health checks and performance evaluations of its suppliers to avoid disruptions in its electric vehicle production. Expansion. Managing supplier risks requires regular audits, performance reviews, and strong collaboration. Companies should also consider the financial health of their suppliers, especially when relying on sole-source suppliers for critical components. 6. Risk sharing in the supply chain. Explanation. Risk sharing refers to the collaboration between companies and their suppliers or partners to distribute risks more evenly. Contractual agreements, joint ventures, or insurance solutions can be used to share risks. Real company example. General Motors (GM) and its suppliers often enter into collaborative agreements to share the risks associated with new product development and production scaling. Expansion. Risk-sharing models create a more balanced approach to managing supply chain risks. By aligning incentives and sharing the responsibility for risk mitigation, companies and suppliers can work together to ensure mutual success and reduce the impact of disruptions. 7. Resilience in supply chain risk management. Explanation. Building resilience means creating supply chains that can adapt and recover quickly from disruptions. This includes strategies like dual sourcing, flexible manufacturing systems, and robust communication channels with suppliers. Real company example. Cisco has implemented resilience-building strategies by developing backup suppliers and flexible sourcing arrangements to ensure continuity during supply disruptions. Expansion. Resilient supply chains are better equipped to handle unexpected events. Companies that invest in flexible production processes, adaptable logistics networks, and strong relationships with multiple suppliers can bounce back faster from disruptions and maintain operations. 8. Technology in risk management. Explanation. Technologies like artificial intelligence, AI, blockchain, and Internet of Things, IoT devices play a critical role in risk management by providing real-time data, predictive analytics, and enhanced transparency throughout the supply chain. Real company example. Maersk uses blockchain technology to enhance transparency in its shipping and logistics operations, reducing the risk of fraud and delays. Expansion. Integrating advanced technologies into the supply chain can help companies monitor risks in real time, predict potential disruptions, and quickly react to unforeseen events. Blockchain, for instance, provides end-to-end visibility, ensuring trust and accountability among supply chain partners. 9. Geopolitical risks. Explanation. Geopolitical risks, including trade wars, tariffs, and regulatory changes, can severely impact global supply chains. Companies need to anticipate and plan for such risks, especially when sourcing from politically unstable regions. Real company example. Huawei faced significant geopolitical risk when the U.S. government imposed sanctions, leading to disruptions in its global supply chain. Expansion. Monitoring geopolitical developments and diversifying suppliers or production locations can help businesses mitigate these risks. Establishing contingency plans for sourcing critical components from alternate regions ensures that companies are less affected by geopolitical events. 10. Financial risks and currency fluctuations. Explanation. Currency fluctuations and financial risks, such as price volatility or economic downturns, can impact supply chain costs and profitability. Risk management strategies, such as hedging or price escalation clauses, can protect against these risks. Real company example. Unilever uses currency hedging to protect against the effects of exchange rate fluctuations in its global supply chain. Expansion. Financial risk management in the supply chain ensures that businesses can maintain stable pricing and profitability. Companies that hedge against currency fluctuations or negotiate flexible pricing contracts with suppliers can reduce financial exposure and maintain a stable cost structure. 11. Environmental and climate risks. Explanation. Climate-related risks, including extreme weather events, rising sea levels, and supply chain disruptions caused by natural disasters, are becoming increasingly important. Companies need to integrate climate risk assessments into their supply chain strategies. Real company example. Coca-Cola has identified water scarcity as a significant environmental risk, given the large volumes of water required for its products. To mitigate this, Coca-Cola has invested in water sustainability initiatives across its supply chain. Expansion. As climate risks increase, businesses must adopt sustainable practices and prepare for potential environmental disruptions. Companies that invest in green technologies and sustainable sourcing can reduce their environmental impact while protecting against supply chain disruptions caused by climate change. 12. Contingency planning and business continuity. Explanation. Contingency planning involves developing detailed strategies to address potential supply chain disruptions. Business continuity planning ensures that companies can maintain essential operations during and after a disruption. Real company example. UPS has a comprehensive business continuity plan in place, ensuring that it can continue to deliver packages even during major disruptions such as natural disasters or global pandemics. Expansion. Contingency planning is vital for ensuring supply chain resilience. By preparing for potential disruptions, businesses can minimize downtime, protect revenue, and maintain customer satisfaction. Developing backup plans, maintaining emergency stock, and conducting regular risk assessments are key to ensuring long-term business continuity. 13. Cybersecurity risks in supply chains. Explanation. Cybersecurity risks in supply chains arise from the increasing digital integration of suppliers, manufacturers, and logistics providers. Cyberattacks, data breaches, and ransomware can disrupt operations and compromise sensitive information, leading to financial and reputational damage. Real company example. In 2017, Maersk experienced a major cyberattack, NotPetya, that disrupted its global shipping operations, causing delays and significant financial losses. The company had to reinstall 4,000 servers and 45,000 PCs across its network to recover. Expansion. As supply chains become more digitized, cybersecurity is a critical component of risk management. Companies must implement strong cybersecurity measures such as encryption, secure access controls, regular audits, and employee training. Collaborating with supply chain partners to ensure cybersecurity compliance across the entire network is essential to preventing breaches and ensuring operational continuity. 14. Supplier dependency and single sourcing risks. Explanation. Relying on a single supplier for critical components or services can expose a company to significant risks. If that supplier fails to deliver due to financial instability, natural disasters, or political unrest, it can lead to major supply chain disruptions. Real company example. Ford faced significant production delays in 2021 when a major semiconductor supplier experienced shortages, impacting Ford's ability to manufacture vehicles. This dependency on a few key chip suppliers created bottlenecks throughout the auto industry. Expansion. Companies can reduce the risks associated with single sourcing by diversifying their supplier base and identifying alternative suppliers for critical components. Multi-sourcing strategies, geographic diversification, and dual sourcing help mitigate dependency risks and create a more resilient supply chain. Additionally, developing strong relationships with suppliers ensures better communication and risk mitigation. 15. Social and political risks in supplier countries. Explanation. Social and political risks, such as strikes, labor disputes, political instability, or changes in labor laws, can disrupt supply chain operations in certain regions. These risks are especially pronounced in countries with fragile political environments or volatile labor markets. Real company example. Nike faced supply chain disruptions in Vietnam due to labor strikes and factory closures caused by political unrest and COVID-19 lockdowns. Vietnam is a key manufacturing hub for Nike, and these events affected production timelines. Expansion. Monitoring social and political developments in key supplier countries is essential for anticipating potential disruptions. Companies should establish contingency plans, such as moving production to alternate locations or engaging with labor unions to resolve disputes. By understanding the political and social landscape, businesses can take proactive steps to reduce the risks of interruptions in their supply chains. Summary. Supply chain risk management is a critical aspect of modern supply chain operations, involving the identification, assessment, and mitigation of various risks. Companies face numerous risks, including operational, financial, geopolitical, and environmental risks, all of which can disrupt the flow of goods and services. Businesses like Apple, Toyota, and Unilever provide examples of how to manage these risks by diversifying suppliers, using technology, and implementing contingency plans. Risk sharing and resilience building strategies, along with a focus on collaboration and technology, help companies protect their supply chains from disruptions and ensure long-term sustainability. In addition to traditional supply chain risks, modern supply chains face unique challenges, including cybersecurity threats, over-reliance on single suppliers, and social and political instability in supplier countries. Companies like Maersk, Ford, and Nike have experienced these risks firsthand, highlighting the need for robust risk management strategies. By diversifying suppliers, strengthening cybersecurity defenses, and closely monitoring political and social conditions in key regions, companies can better protect their supply chains and ensure operational resilience. Effective risk management also involves continuous collaboration, risk sharing, and the adoption of advanced technologies to mitigate the growing complexities of global supply chains. Let's take a small practice test for Section A. 1. Supply chain risk refers to the potential for disruptions caused by what types of factors? Only operational failures. B. Only environmental factors. C. Multiple sources including political, natural, and operational factors. D. Only financial issues. Answer C. Explanation. Supply chain risk arises from various sources, including political instability, natural disasters, and operational failures. 2. Which of the following is a common strategy for mitigating supply chain risks? A. Single sourcing. B. Safety stock maintenance. C. Ignoring low-likelihood risks. D. Reacting only after disruption occurs. Answer B. Explanation. Safety stock acts as a buffer against unpredictable disruptions, ensuring the continuity of operations. 3. What is the primary purpose of risk categorization in supply chains? A. To eliminate risks entirely. B. To assign blame to suppliers. C. To tailor mitigation strategies based on risk types. D. To ensure full risk transfer to insurance. Answer C. Explanation. Risk categorization helps businesses develop specific strategies based on the nature of the risk, operational, financial, etc. 4. Which technology is most commonly associated with enhancing transparency and security in supply chains? A. Blockchain. B. AI for predictive analytics. C. Cloud storage. D. Robotic process automation. Answer A. Explanation. Blockchain improves transparency and security by providing a verifiable and immutable record of transactions. 5. How does supplier risk management benefit a company's supply chain? A. It eliminates all potential risks. B. It fosters long-term collaboration and reduces chances of supplier failure. C. It ensures full financial protection through contracts. D. It removes the need for audits. Answer B. Explanation. Supplier risk management ensures better collaboration and performance monitoring, reducing the risk of failure. 6. Which method helps in reducing single-sourcing risks in supply chains? A. Enhancing single supplier contracts. B. Diversifying suppliers. C. Cutting costs on risk assessments. D. Limiting technology investments. Answer B. Explanation. Diversifying suppliers ensures that companies are not overly dependent on a single supplier, reducing vulnerability. 7. What role does contingency planning play in supply chain risk management? A. It allows companies to ignore minor risks. B. It only prepares for financial risks. C. It helps companies maintain essential operations during disruptions. D. It guarantees that no disruptions occur. Answer C. Explanation. Contingency planning prepares businesses to continue operations even in the face of significant disruptions. 8. Which of the following is a key step in risk identification in supply chains? A. Assuming no risks will occur. B. Mapping risks across the entire supply chain. C. Relying solely on financial data. D. Only focusing on major suppliers. Answer B. Explanation. Identifying risks requires a full view of the supply chain, including operational, financial, and geopolitical factors. 9. What is a major benefit of using AI in supply chain risk management? It replaces human decision-making. B. It ensures risks are eliminated completely. C. It provides predictive analytics to forecast potential disruptions. D. It automates all physical supply chain activities. Answer C. Explanation. AI uses data to predict and mitigate risks by forecasting potential disruptions before they occur. 10. Which of the following is not a type of supply chain risk? A. Operational risk. B. Environmental risk. C. Marketing risk. D. Financial risk. Answer C. Explanation. Marketing risk is not considered a primary category in supply chain risk, whereas operational, environmental, and financial risks are key concerns. 11. How can geopolitical risks impact a supply chain? A. By creating greater collaboration between countries. B. By increasing demand. C. Through regulatory changes, tariffs, or trade restrictions. D. By improving supplier relationships. Answer C. Explanation. Geopolitical risks often result in trade restrictions, regulatory changes, or tariffs, affecting global supply chains. 12. In terms of supply chain resilience, what is the benefit of dual sourcing? A. It increases operational costs. B. It provides flexibility in sourcing materials. C. It guarantees price stability. D. It limits the need for supplier collaboration. Answer B. Explanation. Dual sourcing allows companies to have backup suppliers, which enhances flexibility and continuity during disruptions. 13. Why is environmental risk a growing concern for supply chains? A. Environmental regulations are becoming weaker. B. Climate change is creating more frequent disruptions. C. Companies are ignoring sustainability. D. It only affects a small number of industries. Answer B. Explanation. Climate change and environmental factors are causing more frequent disruptions, requiring businesses to adapt and mitigate risks. 14. What is a major consideration in financial risk management in global supply chains? A. Ignoring currency fluctuations. B. Implementing currency hedging strategies. C. Only using local suppliers. D. Relying on reactive financial measures. Answer B. Explanation. Currency hedging helps protect companies from the financial risks associated with fluctuating exchange rates in global supply chains. 15. How does a robust risk-sharing agreement benefit both a company and its suppliers? A. It transfers all risk to the supplier. B. It ensures mutual accountability and balanced risk mitigation. C. It eliminates the need for performance evaluations. D. It reduces collaboration between partners. Answer B. Explanation. Risk-sharing agreements create mutual accountability and shared responsibility for managing risks, benefiting both parties. Quick reminder. If you're finding this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with anyone who may benefit. Your support really makes a difference. Let's get back to it. Section B. Risk Analysis and Response. Overview. Risk analysis and response focuses on the structured approach to identifying, evaluating, and managing supply chain risks. This process begins with risk identification, where businesses proactively detect potential disruptions, such as supplier failures, geopolitical issues, or natural disasters. Once risks are identified, the next step is risk assessment, which involves analyzing the likelihood and potential impact of each risk using various qualitative and quantitative methods. Following assessment, businesses develop risk response strategies, including mitigation tactics such as diversifying suppliers, holding safety stock, or creating contingency plans to reduce the impact of disruptions. Effective risk analysis and response are critical to building a resilient supply chain capable of withstanding and quickly recovering from unexpected challenges. Key topics. 1. Risk identification in supply chains. Explanation. Risk identification is the first step in risk analysis, involving the systematic identification of potential risks that could impact the supply chain. These risks could be internal, such as operational inefficiencies, or external, such as supplier failures, market fluctuations, or natural disasters. Real company example. Apple employs comprehensive risk identification strategies, identifying geopolitical risks, natural disasters, and supplier disruptions that could impact its global operations. Expansion. Effective risk identification requires businesses to assess their entire supply chain ecosystem, considering factors like supplier dependencies, logistics vulnerabilities, and economic or environmental conditions. Companies often use risk mapping tools and scenario planning to predict potential disruptions and their impact on the supply chain. 2. Risk assessment techniques. Explanation. Risk assessment involves evaluating identified risks to determine their potential impact and likelihood. Companies use qualitative and quantitative methods, such as probability impact matrices and failure mode and effects analysis, FMEA, to prioritize risks based on severity. Real company example. Toyota employs FMEA to assess risks associated with production processes and supply chain disruptions. This tool helps Toyota identify weak points and prioritize corrective actions. Expansion. Using structured risk assessment techniques enables companies to focus on the most critical risks. Assessments help prioritize mitigation efforts, allocating resources where they are most needed. Combining historical data, expert input, and predictive analytics can further refine the accuracy of risk assessments. 3. Scenario planning and risk analysis. Explanation. Scenario planning involves creating hypothetical what-if scenarios to analyze how potential risks might affect the supply chain. By modeling different scenarios, companies can develop strategies to mitigate the impacts of various disruptions. Real company example. Shell frequently uses scenario planning to anticipate geopolitical risks and fluctuating energy markets. The company prepares for possible outcomes like changes in trade regulations or supply shortages by running multiple scenarios. Expansion. Scenario planning is an essential tool for navigating uncertainty. It enables companies to simulate a range of disruptions, from demand surges to supplier failures, and evaluate the effectiveness of various response strategies. This forward-looking approach ensures that businesses are prepared for multiple contingencies. 4. Quantitative risk analysis. Explanation. Quantitative risk analysis involves using statistical models and data to measure the probability and impact of risks on supply chains. Techniques such as Monte Carlo simulations, decision tree analysis, and sensitivity analysis are common tools used in this process. Real company example. Pfizer uses quantitative risk analysis when evaluating risks associated with pharmaceutical supply chains, particularly for drug development timelines. This approach allows them to predict potential delays and make data-driven decisions. Expansion. Quantitative analysis provides measurable insights into the likelihood and potential cost of risks. By applying statistical models, companies can assign numerical values to risk factors and calculate potential financial losses or operational delays, enhancing the precision of risk response plans. 5. Risk mitigation strategies. Explanation. Risk mitigation focuses on reducing the likelihood or impact of identified risks. Strategies include diversifying suppliers, increasing inventory buffers, and adopting dual sourcing, along with developing alternative transportation routes. Real company example. General Motors mitigates risks related to component shortages by maintaining a diversified supplier base and investing in contingency stock to ensure uninterrupted production during supplier disruptions. Expansion. Implementing proactive risk mitigation strategies ensures that businesses are not overly dependent on single points of failure. By preparing alternative suppliers and logistics routes, companies create flexibility within their supply chain, allowing them to respond quickly to disruptions without significant losses. 6. Risk transfer and insurance. Explanation. Risk transfer involves shifting the financial burden of a risk to a third party, often through insurance policies. Companies use insurance to protect against risks such as property damage, cargo theft, or cyber attacks that can affect their supply chain operations. Real company example. Coca-Cola uses insurance to cover risks related to the transportation of raw materials and finished products, protecting against financial losses from accidents or theft during distribution. Expansion. Insurance plays a key role in supply chain risk management, especially for high-impact, low-probability events. By transferring risks to insurers, companies can mitigate the financial consequences of unforeseen disruptions, allowing them to focus on maintaining operations. 7. Risk sharing with suppliers. Explanation. Risk sharing involves creating partnerships with suppliers and logistics providers to distribute the burden of supply chain risks. Contracts can include clauses that allocate responsibility for specific risks, such as price volatility or transportation delays. Real company example. Unilever employs risk-sharing agreements with key suppliers, ensuring that both parties are jointly responsible for managing risks related to raw material price fluctuations. Expansion. Collaborative risk-sharing arrangements align incentives between companies and suppliers, ensuring that both parties have a vested interest in maintaining supply chain continuity. By sharing risks, businesses can lower the overall burden on any single entity, improving resilience across the supply chain. 8. Business continuity planning. Explanation. Business continuity planning, BCP, ensures that companies can maintain critical supply chain functions during and after a disruption. BCP involves establishing backup systems, disaster recovery plans, and communication protocols to restore normal operations quickly. Real company example. After the 2011 earthquake and tsunami in Japan, Honda activated its BCP, which included shifting production to unaffected plants and working with alternative suppliers to minimize downtime. Expansion. Business continuity planning is critical for sustaining operations in the face of major disruptions. By preparing backup plans and alternative supply sources, companies can reduce downtime and financial losses during crises, ensuring faster recovery times. 9. Contingency planning for key suppliers. Explanation. Contingency planning involves developing alternative solutions in case a critical supplier fails. This includes identifying backup suppliers, holding safety stock, or creating emergency response plans to secure supply continuity. Real company example. Apple develops contingency plans for its critical suppliers, maintaining relationships with backup manufacturers in case of disruptions in its primary supplier network. Expansion. Contingency planning is a crucial aspect of risk response, especially for businesses that rely on a small number of key suppliers. Developing strong relationships with backup suppliers and regularly reviewing contingency plans ensure that disruptions can be mitigated swiftly, minimizing operational impacts. 10. Monitoring and early warning systems. Explanation. Supply chains benefit from monitoring tools and early warning systems that detect potential risks before they escalate. Technologies such as IoT sensors and AI-driven predictive analytics allow companies to track real-time data and forecast supply chain disruptions. Real company example. DHL uses IoT sensors to monitor its global logistics network, providing real-time insights into temperature, humidity, and location, helping the company proactively respond to delays or risks. Expansion. By leveraging advanced monitoring systems, businesses can detect early signs of supply chain disruptions, such as transportation delays or environmental changes, allowing for quick intervention. Predictive analytics further enhance the ability to forecast potential risks and plan accordingly. 11. Risk response agility. Explanation. Agility in risk response refers to the ability of a supply chain to adapt quickly to disruptions. Companies with agile supply chains can reconfigure logistics, alter production schedules, and switch suppliers in response to changing conditions. Real company example. Zara, a leader in fast fashion, has an agile supply chain that allows it to adjust production quickly based on shifting consumer demand. This agility enables the company to avoid excess inventory and respond swiftly to market changes. Expansion. Agile supply chains are highly responsive and flexible, allowing companies to pivot in the face of unexpected challenges. By building agility into their operations, businesses can reduce the impact of disruptions, minimize delays, and meet customer demand despite obstacles. 12. Supplier collaboration in risk response. Explanation. Supplier collaboration is essential for an effective risk response. Working closely with suppliers ensures better communication, shared risk management strategies, and joint problem-solving in the event of a disruption. Real company example. Procter & Gamble, P&G, collaborates closely with its suppliers to develop joint risk management strategies. During supply chain disruptions, P&G and its suppliers work together to find alternative solutions and maintain product flow. Expansion. Close supplier relationships foster mutual trust and transparency, which is crucial when responding to risks. By aligning risk management strategies, companies and their suppliers can share resources, knowledge, and contingency plans to ensure that disruptions are managed effectively. 13. Financial resilience in risk response. Explanation. Financial resilience involves having the financial resources and flexibility to respond to supply chain risks. Companies with strong balance sheets can absorb the costs of disruptions and invest in recovery efforts without jeopardizing long-term stability. Real company example. Amazon maintains strong financial reserves that allow it to invest in infrastructure improvements, alternative sourcing, and rapid recovery measures following supply chain disruptions. Expansion. A financially resilient company can allocate funds quickly to address disruptions, whether through paying for expedited shipping, sourcing from more expensive suppliers, or investing in technology to restore operations. Financial planning is key to ensuring that businesses can maintain operations during risk events. 14. Post-disruption evaluation. Explanation. After a disruption, companies must evaluate their response to identify lessons learned and improve future risk management. Post-disruption evaluations help companies refine their strategies, strengthen weak points, and build more resilient supply chains. Real company example. After the 2011 Thai floods disrupted the hard drive supply chain, Western Digital conducted a thorough evaluation of its response and made changes to its supply chain strategy, including diversifying suppliers and improving flood risk assessments. Expansion. Post-disruption evaluations are critical for continuous improvement in risk management. By reviewing response actions and outcomes, companies can identify what worked, what didn't, and how to improve. This ongoing evaluation process strengthens future resilience and prepares companies for future risks. 15. Training and awareness for risk response. Explanation. Training employees and raising awareness about risk management strategies are essential for an effective response. Regular training ensures that teams understand risk protocols, can identify early warning signs, and know how to execute contingency plans. Real company example. FedEx conducts regular training and emergency response drills with its employees to ensure that everyone is prepared to handle disruptions in the global logistics network. Expansion. A well-trained workforce is a critical asset during supply chain disruptions. Providing employees with the necessary knowledge and skills enables them to respond quickly and effectively, minimizing the impact of risks. Continuous training also helps businesses adapt to new risks and maintain operational resilience. Summary in Section B. Risk analysis and response. The focus is on how businesses can systematically identify, assess, and respond to risks that impact their supply chains. The section begins with risk identification, where companies identify potential threats, both internal and external, that could disrupt operations. It moves into risk assessment techniques, using both qualitative and quantitative methods to measure the impact and likelihood of these risks. Businesses also leverage scenario planning to simulate different disruption scenarios and develop risk mitigation strategies. Further, the section highlights the importance of quantitative risk analysis, which uses statistical models to calculate the probability of disruptions and explores various risk mitigation strategies, including supplier diversification and holding safety stock. Companies often employ risk transfer methods, such as insurance, to reduce financial exposure and risk-sharing contracts with suppliers to distribute responsibility. The section also emphasizes the need for business continuity planning to prepare for potential crises and contingency planning for key suppliers, ensuring alternative solutions are ready. Companies use early warning systems to monitor and predict disruptions and promote agility in risk response, enabling them to pivot quickly. Finally, supplier collaboration and post-disruption evaluation are crucial for managing risks and learning from past events. Training employees and raising awareness is essential to ensure effective execution of risk management strategies. This comprehensive approach to risk analysis and response ensures that businesses can anticipate, mitigate, and recover from supply chain disruptions while maintaining operational resilience. Let's take a small practice test for Section B. 1. Risk identification in supply chains primarily focuses on identifying risks that are A. Internal only, B. External only, C. Both internal and external, D. Only controllable risks. Correct answer, C. Overall explanation. Risk identification includes both internal and external risks, assessing various factors that may impact supply chain operations, such as supplier failures or inefficiencies. 2. Which of the following is a common tool used in risk assessment? A. Probability impact matrix, B. Lean Six Sigma, C. Just-in-time JIT, D. Value stream mapping. Correct answer, A. Overall explanation. The probability impact matrix is commonly used in risk assessment to evaluate the likelihood and potential impact of risks, helping prioritize mitigation efforts. 3. Scenario planning helps companies A. Avoid all risks, B. Simulate different disruptions and responses, C. Focus on short-term risk management, D. Eliminate the need for risk identification. Correct answer, B. Overall explanation. Scenario planning allows companies to simulate different disruptions, enabling them to develop strategies for mitigating risks before they occur. 4. Which method is commonly used in quantitative risk analysis? A. Monte Carlo simulations, B. Pest analysis, C. Value chain analysis, D. SWOT analysis. Correct answer, A. Overall explanation. Monte Carlo simulations help in quantitative risk analysis by using statistical models to measure the probability and impact of various risks. 5. Risk mitigation strategies typically include A. Diversifying suppliers, B. Relying on a single supplier, C. Ignoring low-probability risks, D. Eliminating backup suppliers. Correct answer, A. Overall explanation. Diversifying suppliers is a key risk mitigation strategy that helps reduce the impact of supplier disruptions. 6. Risk transfer is most commonly achieved through A. Stockpiling inventory, B. Signing long-term contracts, C. Insurance policies, D. Supplier collaboration. Correct answer, C. Overall explanation. Risk transfer often involves using insurance policies to shift the financial burden of risks such as theft or property damage to a third party. 7. Risk-sharing agreements between companies and suppliers are designed to A. Avoid price fluctuations, B. Share the burden of risks, C. Transfer all risks to the supplier, D. Minimize the need for inventory management. Correct answer, B. Overall explanation. Risk-sharing agreements help both companies and suppliers share responsibility for managing risks, improving resilience across the supply chain. 8. Business continuity planning (BCP) helps companies by A. Eliminating disruptions, B. Ensuring critical operations continue during disruptions, C. Removing the need for backup systems, D. Making disruptions less frequent. Correct answer, B. Overall explanation. BCP ensures that critical operations can continue during disruptions by implementing backup systems, recovery plans, and communication protocols. 9. Contingency planning for key suppliers includes A. Identifying backup suppliers. B. Ignoring low-impact risks. C. Maintaining the same suppliers. D. Decreasing communication with suppliers. Correct answer: A. Overall explanation. Contingency planning includes identifying backup suppliers or holding safety stock to maintain supply chain continuity during disruptions. 10. Early warning systems and supply chains help by A. Reacting after disruptions occur. B. Providing real-time alerts of potential risks. C. Ignoring low-impact risks. D. Reducing the need for monitoring. Correct answer: B. Overall explanation. Early warning systems help identify potential risks before they escalate, allowing companies to take proactive measures and avoid costly disruptions. 11. Agility in supply chain risk response is critical because it A. Reduces production capacity. B. Helps companies respond quickly to disruptions. C. Increases operational complexity. D. Eliminates the need for risk identification. Correct answer: B. Overall explanation. Agile supply chains are better equipped to respond quickly to disruptions, reconfiguring logistics and suppliers as needed to maintain operations. 12. Supplier collaboration is essential in risk response because A. It reduces transparency. B. It improves communication and joint problem solving. C. It removes the need for contracts. D. It eliminates the need for monitoring. Correct answer: B. Overall explanation. Collaborating with suppliers improves communication and enables joint problem solving, which is critical for mitigating risks and maintaining supply chain continuity. 13. Financial resilience in risk response ensures that companies A. Can absorb the costs of disruptions. B. Avoid investing in recovery measures. C. Can avoid all financial risks. D. Don't need contingency plans. Correct answer: A. Overall explanation. Financially resilient companies can absorb costs and invest in rapid recovery measures following supply chain disruptions, ensuring long-term stability. 14. Post-disruption evaluation is important because it A. Helps eliminate future risks. B. Identifies lessons learned for future risk management. C. Makes it impossible for risks to occur again. D. Reduces the need for contingency planning. Correct answer: B. Overall explanation. Post-disruption evaluations help companies identify what worked and what didn't during a disruption, improving their risk management strategies for future incidents. 15. Regular training and awareness programs in risk response are essential for A. Keeping employees informed about risks. B. Reducing communication between departments. C. Minimizing the need for backup systems. D. Eliminating the need for risk identification. Correct answer: A. Overall explanation. Training employees and raising awareness about risk management ensures they understand protocols and can respond effectively to disruptions. Thanks so much for sticking with me until the end. I'm really glad to have you here. Don't forget to check the description below for links to all the study materials. You'll find everything you need to succeed. Also, be sure to watch the previous modules in the CSCP playlist and stay tuned for the next ones. If you found this helpful, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. It really helps support the content and brings more valuable resources your way. Until next time, keep up the great work, and I'll see you in the next module.